Welcome to the AskARoofer Podcast, where all your roofing questions find their answers. Your hosts, Megan Ellsworth and Lauren White, peel back the layers of the roofing world to reveal the knowledge, tips, and FAQs you've been curious about. From shingles to skylights, metal to asphalt, we're here to demystify the system above your head. So get ready to ask, learn, and explore the fascinating world of roofing, one question at a time, on the AskARoofer Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the AskARoofer Podcast. I'm Lauren White, and I am here with Renee Ramey, and I'm very excited to have another podcast with you, Renee. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
And today we are talking, of course, about metal roofing and what homeowners should know about metal roofing when they're considering a new roof. But before we dive in, I will have you introduce yourself for those who don't know you.
Okay. Yeah, my name's Renee Ramey. I'm the executive director of the Metal Roofing Alliance. I've been in the industry for, I want to say something like 28 years now or something like that, long time. I'm very passionate about metal roofing, and MRA exists to educate and promote metal roofing to homeowners. So yeah, happy to be here and share some information.
Yeah, well, we're excited to have you. So yeah, let's just jump in and tell us what makes metal roofing different from traditional roofing materials in terms of kind of that long-term protection.
Well, I think just inherently and logically, metal's going to perform better. It's a very durable product. It's highly recyclable. It's strong. It's lasts forever. You look around at all the things made out of steel. A lot of them are going to be around a lot longer than some other materials. So I think just right out of the gate, the fact that metal roofing is made from metal substrate says a lot. But beyond that, yeah, years and decades of proof of, the roofs, quality metal roofs lasting through horrific events and the long term says a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of goes into our next question about, how can a metal roof help reduce damage concerns in areas that are hail prone? And what should people ask about impact ratings when comparing products? So it's kind of
Yeah.
a twofold.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Homeowners should ask all kinds of questions, depending on where they're located in the region. So bringing it back to hail, you should absolutely be making sure that whatever roofing system you put on your home has the highest rating for hail if you live in an area where hail is a concern. Why quality metal roofing is so much better than most products out there is, again, the strength of the material itself. So when a hailstorm comes through and you have an asphalt roof, regardless of what quality of asphalt roof, if the hail's big enough and comes down hard enough, it's going to cause fractures or breaks in those asphalt, in that asphalt roofing, which, any break, any crack, anything that allows water pass through is going to then generate a whole nother suite of issues related to water damage. Water damage turns into interior damage, drywall damage, etc. So a metal roof is so much better in hail prone areas because even, because it's so highly rated with for hail, even bigger hailstorms that come down and, are harder impact, metal typically doesn't fracture, right? It might dent potentially, depending on how hard it's coming down, but you're not going to see any kind of a fracture or crack or what happened to that roof that's going to allow that water infiltration, and that's huge. I think people underestimate the importance of making sure, even if your roof, whatever it is, gets damaged, where a lot of the bulk of money and just pain come from is when that water infiltration happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of that trickle down, literally,
Yeah.
effect of
Yeah.
damage and issues. Yeah. Yeah. So, kind of on the other side of things, wildfire season has become a greater concern for a lot of different areas.
Yep.
How can a metal roof support a homeowner's kind of fire resistance strategy?
Right. So, similar, I guess, on a high level is, a lot of other roofing materials, take shake roofing as an example, or even asphalt. They're not, they're going to catch on fire more quickly, and just general rule of thumb, based on the experts is that an ember from a wildfire can travel a mile plus. And so what you want is something on your home that's going to be ember resistant. So, not just a fire happening right at your house, but even a mile away, knowing that that roof is going to resist catching fire if an ember happens to blow your way. So that's a huge thing for metal roofing and wildfire specifically. It's just that resistance to catching fire.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with fire season coming up, and
Yeah,
feel like it starts earlier and earlier every year. So,
it does feel
starting
that
the
way.
conversation now, and yeah, and looking into options. And so what other advice would you give homeowners concerning, roof, gutters, and vents around their property to maybe help reduce that wildfire risk,
Right.
in
Well,
addition to, maybe choosing a metal roof?
yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, we put out every year, multiple times a year, just a checklist. And it's not always about, beating the drum of metal roofing. Obviously, we believe that's the best choice for wildfire prone areas. But there's so much else that can be done as far as keeping your gutters clean and making sure your vents are, protected so they're not sucking those embers into your attic and things of that nature. Trimming back your landscaping and getting rid of debris that could easily catch on fire. There's a lot of things that MRA promotes just to help with the wildfire seasons and yeah, and a metal roof.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah, and having that like annual maintenance is really
Yes.
key in helping with determining, how your vents are looking and what's going on with your gutters if you're not comfortable getting on a ladder and looking yourself because it's
Yep.
dangerous to go up on a roof. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and AskARoofer.com has a lot of those options and can connect you with someone local in your area. So, for homeowners considering solar, why is it important to think about the roof first, and how can metal roof support that solar installation?
Right. So solar is a big one, and it's fairly intuitive when you kind of walk through the process. Is a lot of these solar panels are very expensive, very intricate, and their setup and how they are, how they work, how they're designed. And so, in theory, you don't want to be taking them off, putting them on, taking them off, putting on, and that's where metal roofing really comes in strong as the right roofing material for under solar because it does have 40, 50 plus year lifespans. So it's going to last longer than the solar panels that are put on it typically. And that means you're not taking off and putting back on, taking off and putting back on. I think I've shared before, I've talked to at least 3 different homeowners over the last few years where they put solar on an asphalt roof. The roof needs to be replaced, and the amount of money it costs to take that solar system off, right? To dismantle that, to replace the roof, to put it back on. There's been warranty issues where companies don't want to then warranty the solar panels and the system because it has been removed. And yeah, it's just metal roofing is the perfect platform. You put it on, put your solar on, and then you're done. You don't have to worry about it.
Absolutely. And so what advice would you give homeowners who are planning on like maybe investing in a metal roof, in terms of anything else that we haven't touched on in terms of protection and kind of lifespan? Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I would recommend going to the MRI website. Again, yes, we're pro metal, but we're also pro education. And so we've got a lot of content out there, including our buyer's guide that walks a homeowner through, everything from, you need to consider where you live, what weather events are going to come through, what's the heat, the cooling, all these different things as far as where you live should play in. And then beyond that, it's asking the right questions, right? It's knowing what to ask, it's knowing what to look for, what to demand. Your contractor or installer of your product, the roofing product, should be able to answer all your questions. They should have references, right? They should be able to address any concerns you have. So doing your research up front and making sure that you're asking all the right things and doing all the right things. And then beyond that, yeah, it's just what specifically to metal roofing, it's making sure you're getting a certain type of metal and a certain type of coating or paint system on it. There's again, the buyer's guide kind of walks people through there in our industry, there's a minimum spec that we would expect for a residential roof. And you need to know what that is, and you need to make sure that that's what you get.
Yeah, the MRA site has so many resources, and you have so many ebooks as well. Obviously, the buyer's guide, and then you have several others. Can you touch on those just a little bit to remind people of what's out there?
Yeah. So we partnered with a couple different media outlets out there. So there's a sustainability guide. We've got a guide on recyclability and durability. But we also just launched 4 new, what we're calling mini guides that are very topic specific. So they cover things, as I mentioned earlier, the regional considerations. It's just a little quick 10-page or less that talks through, here's what you should consider, or what to expect when you're getting a new roof, or what are the metal options, and a little more detail around. So there's a lot of guides out on the MRA website, to your point, that will walk you through, provide that information, so you're not going in blind.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Do your homework.
Yes.
We all thought we were done once we got out of school, but
Yeah.
a roof is a big investment. So it's
Yeah.
important to have all the information to make the right decision.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, anything else you think people should know if they are, maybe live in a hail-prone area, wildfire-prone area, or are maybe considering solar, just kind of all of the things that are hitting the top of the roof?
Yeah. I mean, we've covered a lot of it. I would just say there are testing labs and test results and things that have been proven out completely unrelated to metal versus asphalt, for homeowners' benefit. So you know, there are ratings that are out there that have been recommended and tested and proven for hail, for wildfire, for high winds and hurricanes, right? So yeah, again, like you said, do your research, and depending on where you're at, make sure you know what those testing protocols are or what the recommendations are, and then view the materials you're considering against that. The only other thing I would say is, we're doing a big push right now, educating homeowners about the financial side too, because metal roofing can be more expensive. Typically, is more expensive than asphalt roofing, but it can last 2 to 3 times longer. And so I'm bringing that in just for the solar. The point on the solar is, yes, it might cost more up front. There's tons of financing options. Homeowners should be viewing it more like buying a car or buying a new refrigerator, right? Like, you can finance a roof, and why wouldn't you want to finance a roof that is going to outlast your solar system, your panels that you put up for solar, or what have you. So it's just looking at it from more of a long-term perspective as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely an investment in
Yes.
your future. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Renee, as always, wonderful information and wonderful to see you. Thank you so
too.
much for sharing. And yeah, you can find information about the Metal Roofing Alliance on AskARoofer.com and check out the directory, and make sure that you go to their site and check out all of their guides and ebooks and everything that they have to offer. It's a wealth of information. So, Renee, thank you again. And
always a pleasure. Love
Yeah.
seeing you.
yes, and we will see you all next time.
If your roof needs answers, subscribe now to the Ask a Roofer podcast. We've got your questions covered, one episode at a time. Go to AskARoofer.com to submit your questions and learn more. Stay tuned and keep those questions coming.